All right, let's head north of the border, shall we? Let's head up to Canada, where the Trudeau government there, of course, has been continuing to crack down on your personal freedoms, and vaccine mandates still being weaponized by the Canadian government. So this story is unbelievable. The women who work in the British Columbian public sector in British Columbia, Canada, who are not vaccinated, okay, who said, hey, I'm having a baby, had a baby, in the process of getting pregnant, right, have been terminated or fired, and then they're being asked to pay back the sum of the maternity money that they got, their leave money. Did I get that right?
Yes.
If they went on maternity leave, now the government's saying, hey, because you're unvaccinated, you need to give us this money back.
Well, these are women who decided not to take a COVID vaccine and also had maternity leave within the last year, presumably because they were about to have a baby or they were pregnant or nursing, right? They decided not to take the vaccine. But when they went on maternity leave, there was no mandate. When they came back, there was. And so now they are being let go from their public sector jobs because of the vaccine mandate, but they are also being asked to pay back their maternity leave salary because they cannot keep those jobs. So in British Columbia, a woman is eligible for up to 80% of her salary for up to 17 weeks of leave with an agreed upon return date. But then if you get back and you leave your job, you are normally supposed to pay back that maternity leave, right? Because you've been paid to come back to a job. And if you come back, if you don't come back, or you come back and you leave, well, then, it stands to reason you could pay back some of those benefits. But they're not leaving voluntarily. They're leaving because they've been denied an exemption for a vaccine mandate. So they come back, they lose their jobs, and now the government is asking them to return the sum of their maternity leave salary that they received for those 17 weeks, which in some cases has been up to $50,000. So these are brand new mothers with infants, right, who now have lost their job, have a brand new mouth to feed, and they're saying, pay back this money. So why are these vaccine mandates still in place is one question. They are, many of them, fighting this in court and fighting the debt, but there is no guarantee. So obviously that's very stressful, right? It's stressful to have a new baby. If you're nursing, those hormones get into your milk. Even if you're not nursing, you're sharing your pheromones with your baby. You're putting stress on the baby, right? Which is worse in many cases than getting COVID. Yeah, why go after mothers? Why, this is a crazy story.
Dr. Simone Gold tweeted this. She said, wow, the British Columbian government wants to require mothers who are denied an exemption to the COVID jab to pay back up to $50,000 in maternity benefits. War is being waged on the unvaccinated, she says. War is being waged on mothers. And it really is true, because we've heard, so we saw the story in the United States, right? ESPN, was it Allison Williams, I think, from ESPN. She said, I'm not going to get a vaccine because I'm trying to have a baby. Mm-hmm. I don't want whatever this is in my bloodstream. And you can't.
Well, specifically, she didn't want to disrupt her menstruation, which the vaccine was being proven to do. Right. Even at the time, right? She didn't want any disruptions of her menstruation because obviously that's an important piece of fertility. And she wanted to give her toddler a sibling, like within her timeline, right? And like, you have a small baby and you're like, let's just rip the Band-Aid and have another. If I'm going to do two, I might as well do it. That's how I felt anyway. So, yeah. And then I got the third, and so she had her biological clock in mind and decided not to take this, and ESPN let her go.
And there's been a number of cases coming forward for moms who've taken the, what, and then have had adverse reactions and then lost the baby as well. A number of pregnancy cases across different countries This was up to, by the way, just up to February of 2021.
These are the Pfizer documents.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So number of cases, 413, 84 serious, three non-serious. Country of incidence, United States, UK, Canada, Germany, Poland, Israel, Italy, Portugal, Mexico, Estonia, Hungary, Ireland, Romania, Spain, Czech Republic, France, and 10 other countries.
Yeah.
I mean, 270 mother cases and 4 fetus baby cases.
Right. And 23 spontaneous abortions, right? So this is, although again, these are women who went on maternity leave. So presumably had just had the baby and decided not to take the vaccine within the span of going on maternity leave and the mandates going into place. So they presumably had healthy babies, went on leave, and then didn't want to take it, right? Because again, you're nursing, or even if you're not nursing, you just have a new baby. You don't want to do anything to mess with your immune system at all in those first few weeks, because it's stressful. It's stressful enough, and you want to be as healthy as you can in the first few weeks of motherhood.
I mean, you saw the documents. We saw the documents that we reported here last week from Canada on that the 2 gentlemen who sued, right, to get information.
Oh, yes.
So I wonder if this will lead to more disclosure about this.
Right, because why put this mandate in place for public health for public workers, right? Where did this come from? What's the science based on this, right? Especially given that we can now say that it has nothing to do with preventing the spread. So then why, right? And especially why, again, if they've been on leave, why punish them for that? So this is an interesting and also super upsetting story.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it incredibly troubling. Like the government and what the government gives you picks winners and losers in this, right? And so if you're a mom who just went along with government mandates, then you get rewarded by the government. If you stood up for your own health, your own family, and your own personal freedoms, you're crushed by the government. I mean, we saw this with small businesses who tried to remain open, who tried to do things to, even putting in place COVID restriction policies that the government the draconian policies that they came to these small businesses with to try to put in place. And then they did, and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Right? It still wasn't enough. And then they were told, sorry, you violated this. We still need to shut you down.
Yeah. At this point, vaccine mandates, I feel like, need a strong case for, I mean, I don't know what it is, right? Like at this point in the pandemic, I feel like there should not be any mandates for this type of thing. And I'm shocked when they still exist and how they're still disproportionately hurting people who are just, either low income or working class.